starting to fry after...
Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrect 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying. But we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more. That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, If you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Rena's Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Rena's Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Xion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, You didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to RENA, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to RENA.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, RENA was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So, this is RENA.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Rena's Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Rena's Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil's civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen,
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
a man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Here's evil!
Double Demon Fang! Try harder! Not a chance!
I'll heal you all!
Raising you up! You're mine!
Healing
Not
you!
mistaken! You're mine!
Glacial
Double
Spear!
Demon
I know
Fang!
you, Keon.
Healing is what my art do best.
Raven Side!
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Take this! Eagle Ray! I'm not done!
Let me help! Now!
In an instant! Impact Drop!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
No escape! Shut him down! Double Demon Fang!
Pierce evil!
You're mine!
Steel!
I'm not
Blazer!
You're finished!
Immediate sword! Confiscated!
I'm ready! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Purge malevolence!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Sword!
Victory is within reach.
Dig deep and we can do this! Don't get caught in the blast!
This one's all mine!
Dance in the wind!
No escape!
It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done. But I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course. This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
I never miss!
Take this!
These ones can wreck drinks around us!
I can carve through armor! I'll take you all off! Double Demon Fang! Far enough!
Prepare to be sealed,
Double Demon Fang!
Actually, sound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing!
Sweep it out.
Dance in the wind! Hold on
Not
to your
today!
arms. Here I come!
Negative
One
You're
more
mine!
time! Dance in the
You're
wind!
mine! I'm ready!
Here, long! Get toasty!
Burn strike! Now!
There! Pounce it!
You're on!
Rain down!
Double
Here
Demon
I go!
Fang!
Oh!
On your Dragon!
Take this!
Stop!
Glacial
Double
Field! Here's
Demon
evil!
Fang!
I'll be saving this one! Freeze
Everlasting
Sleep
Dawn!
now!
Negative gate! Rending you apart! Can't get out of this! Dragon form! Can you take it? I'm ready! Dragon form!
Demon's Descent!
Flashing Fang!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegus, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of RENA. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere, Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely...
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. I never miss.
It's on!
Air thrust. These things really get on my nerves.
Burn it out!
Sounds like a job for yours truly. There you go.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
More Zuko?
Keep calm and take them down. Freeze laser.
You're mine! No escape!
Don't mind if I do. Radiant.
Double Demon Fang!
Got you.
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray. Gemini Aqua.
Double Demon Fang!
Rinwell! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
What's all mine?
Certainly not.
No escape!
Everlasting darkness!
Burn in hell!
I'll heal you all.
Negative
Big
gauge!
waterfall.
Dragon Swarm!
In a bind?
Healing circle. Gemini Aqua. Now.
Demon Fang!
Demons descend.
Flashing Fang!
Everlasting Take it! Dragon Swarm!
Negative gauge!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Not today!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Far beyond the I call upon thee!
Double Demon Fang!
Searing flames! Reload!
Now you see what I can do!
You're
Shooting
finished!
star! Dance in the wind!
Double Demon Fang!
Sleep now! I'll be saving this one! Hit! Glacial Spear!
You're mine! Double Demon Fang! And Total Devastation!
Now! Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Smite with black and
Thunder
gray!
Ray!
Double
Freeze
Demon
laser!
Fang! Take this!
I thought you were going to wreck
More?
I'm not nearly finished yet.
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope no incomplete.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Sweet dreams!
More? Now!
Fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Rinwell! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis! Hear me!
My turn.
Fury! Raging
Hurrah!
lightning! Strike!
I'll resonate with you!
Pierce evil! Fresh! Don't mind if I do!
Another incantation ruined!
Down!
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
Supernova! Now! Kikara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
More? Here I come! Mirage!
Negative gate!
You picked the wrong fight!
The flame will roar! Blood spear! Pierce evil!
Double Demon Fang!
Where are you going?
Take this!
Do it!
Rinwell! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
More?
Glacial
Dragon
Spear!
Swarm!
Pierce evil!
Heal! I'm not done!
Freeze laser!
Double Demon Fang!
Resonate now or never!
And again!
Double Demon Fang!
Dance
In a
the wind!
bind?
Annihilation! Air
Dragon
drop
Swarm!
now!
Turn the tables more? I'm not done!
On
You're
your
finished!
Back into the fray!
Dragon Swarm!
Shattering the teeth in! Attack one!
Double Demon Fang! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
I'm ready! More for the side high! Here this one's mine! Alright!
I'm ready! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis! Here, let me help!
Resonate
Mirage!
with the earth!
First aid!
Total Devastation! Not today! Double Demon Fang!
Where are you going?
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Burn in hell!
Here I go! Here comes it! One more! That'll bring you down!
You're mine! Crush! The
Magic
flame
advance!
inside me yearns to be let free!
Here! Radiant light!
Eternal
Zero
Devastation!
Can't get out of this!
to the fray! Now!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! A melee distraction.
There's still more to go!
Now you see what I can do!
One more time!
You're on!
I'm sorry to trouble you.
Demon Fang!
Raging Cascade!
Denied! Stalagmite! No escape! Double Demon Fang! It's on! Not today! Raising you up high! Bloody! I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Radiant
More?
Punch! Here!
Dragon
Tempest
Swarm!
Whirl!
Bloody! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! My turn! No escape! Dragon Swarm!
I'm out of ammo!
You're mine! Eternal Devastation! Dragon Swarm!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! On my turn! No escape! You're on!
Coming through!
Eat them!
One more! Go get Raging Cascade!
Take this! Raising you up high! Double Demon Fang! Bloody Howling!
In here!
Take this!
Do it!
You're mine! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! Beyond care!
Into the shadows!
Stalagmite!
You don't have to find here on Dana.
I can show you mine if you like.
That would be really awesome, Leon.
One more steps away! By the power
Here I
of
come!
Mega Ray!
No escape! Dragon with the earth! Stalagmite! Raising you up high! Here I come!
Radiant Punch!
Bloody Howling! I'm not done! Stalagmite! Finish!
Dohalim!
Light burst force!
Radiant Genesis!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to RENA? Or could...
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely, which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could...
I have a bad feeling about this.
Come and face me!
Don't mind if I do!
Eat dirt! Negative
Radiant
Take
Pierce!
this! That buzzing is driving me mad!
Raging Spear! Pierce evil!
Explosive ray!
The airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for you, truly!
In a bind? I'm not done!
Hit! Raging Cascade!
Burn in hell!
Healing Circle!
Crush! Eternal devastation! Throw them away!
Here!
Not a chance!
Where are you going?
Try hard! My turn!
It's in the sky!
Eternal
Come on!
devastation! Double Demon Fang!
That'll bring you down!
Here I come! Double Demon Fang! Dragon
Here's the
Swarm!
healing arc!
Double Demon Fang! I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
A merry distraction.
Not a chance!
There's still more to go!
I'll smash you! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Radiant Pierce!
You're mine!
Now!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! Not a chance! Dragon Swarm!
Celestial Hammer! Torn up!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Celestial
Bloody
Hammer!
hell! Escape! Double
Our
Demon
expert
Fang!
coming through!
It's over!
Lightning Cascade! Evil!
Resonate with the earth!
Freeze blade!
It's over! Raising you up! Here I come!
Raging Cascade!
Bloody howling!
Spread!
Eternal devastation!
Arcade waterfall! Freeze lancer! Dance
You're mine!
here! Air thrust!
So I still had room to grow.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Eat dirt! Shatter it!
Flame!
Take this!
Help lightning condemn!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
My watch!
In a bind?
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Armor won't save you! Can't be
Everlasting
Radiant
dust!
light!
Explosive ring!
Out of ammo! This one's
Eternal
mine!
Can't get out of this!
Healing circle! This one's mine!
Crush! Dragon Swarm!
Far enough!
Eternal Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation! Mega ray! Lightning!
They
Down!
blackened blade!
It's on! Ignite!
Flame of fury! In here!
Double Demon Fang!
Do without this
Pierce
pain!
evil! I'll
Double
be
Demon
this
Fang!
one! Light astral energy! Freeze
Bloody, I'm ready!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! Light astral energy!
Double Demon Fang!
Come forth, the helix of purity!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
This one will be difficult to predict.
You're mine! Eat this!
Here's a healing arc! Two heads!
Carve
We're fighting fair!
Eternal devastation!
No further!
By the power of
Dragon
Melody!
Swarm!
Not in your dreams!
Double Demon
There you
Fang!
go! Don't let up! Leave the sword to me! Do it!
In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Finally time is lost.
Try harder! Not a chance! Strike! This one's all mine! Double Demon Fang! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm! Take this!
That'll bring you down! Alright!
Double Demon Fang!
Leave the ensnaring
Double
to me.
Demon Fang!
Yeah! And pummeling to me! Here I go!
Take this!
Laser ray! Gemini arm with that
Double Demon Fang!
Can't get out of this! Now anti-climax.
healing
Resonate with the earth!
You're mine!
Bringing you apart!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time.
I really don't.
In here!
Double Demon Fang! Ignite!
I'll be saving this one!
Double Demon Fang!
Pierce evil! I'm ready! Lancer!
Take this!
It looks like you got this one covered!
Denied! They smite with blackened blade!
Lazy cascade! There! Go!
Double Demon Fang!
No further!
Here! In here! Searing sky!
Resonate with the earth!
Devastation!
Another ammo!
Stalagmite! On your ready and ready!
Annihilation!
Double Demon Fang! Burn in hell!
Now you see what I can do!
Glacial spear! Primed and ready to win! I never miss! Raging
Double
storm!
Demon Fang!
Banana, let's go! Amazing! Reload! Kyle!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll heal you all!
Take this!
Far beyond the darkest healing circle!
Eternal devastation! I owe you!
By the power of water! Searing flame! Reload! Field! I'm out of ammo! I'll be saving this one!
Now or never!
A banana! Let's go!
Can't get out of this!
Annihilation!
Double this one's all mine! Eternal devastation!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Ignite!
Negative
Onyx! Coming through!
Eternal devastation! Double Demon Fang!
rending you apart!
Dragon
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible. Our arts are being interrupted.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! By the power of water! I'm all stuck here!
Now you see what I can do!
Eternal devastation! Dragon Swarm!
Rending you apart!
Double Demon Fang! Burn in hell!
Photon blast!
I owe you!
Rending you
Dragon
apart!
Swarm!
Let's
In a vine. You're mine. Dragon Swarm.
Outstanding form.
Dragon Swarm. Rending you apart.
Like astral energy.
Eternal devastation. I'm ready.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building... stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
It's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrecht 35.
I've got a really bad feeling about this. This one's mine.
Double Demon Fang.
Denied. Thunderblade.
Negative gate. Dragon
Annihilation. Insect.
Go on the ground. They'll provide assistance.
Burn.
You
got fire.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
Now you see what I can do!
All yours.
Leave you snaring to me.
Yeah! And pummeling to me!
Here I go.
It's over. You're finished. Double demon. In an instant. Impact block. We work well together.
Like a finely timed walk.
Heal. Crush. Try harder. My turn.
Where are you going?
You're mine.
Sleep now.
Crush.
Let's get
Dragon Swarm.
now. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
All disasters
Not a
in
chance.
one. Come
Eternal
forward with
devastation.
security.
I'm not done. Dragon
Do
Swarm.
it.
On your my turn.
I can never let them
Crush. Lunar Rondo. You're on. I'm ready. I'm
Keep
not
going.
done.
Go for it. Prepare to crumble. With this, I can become even stronger. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Damn it. Ignite. Take this.
In a bind?
Will this help? Confiscated.
Here I come. I'll smash you.
No charge shall break.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. We'll do better.
Far enough.
Double Demon Fang.
Do it. Astral energy.
Say no more.
Got it.
Well done.
turn.
Damn it. Soaring blood.
You're mine.
Here comes Now!
Double me! In an instant! Impact block! I've still got a ways to go.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way.
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Don't get careless!
Demon Fang!
Don't tell me!
Dragon Form! Double Demon Fang!
Resonate with the earth!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage! Chain between them! This one's mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Wailing Banshee of Lightning!
Negative gate!
Outstanding form!
In a bind?
Divide!
Now you see what I can do!
Dance in the wind! Radiant arrow!
Awaken and reach!
I may have bit off more than I could chew. A wailing Banshee of Lightning!
Double Demon Fang! It's on!
Arch requires complete reload!
Eternal Devastation! Ignite!
Waterfall!
Demon Fang!
Healing circle!
Now it's a thrilling performance!
Double Demon Fang!
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
On your knees!
Try harder! My turn!
Will this help?
Take this!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks,
Double
Kitara!
Demon Fang!
Confiscated! Parents the leveling! Arctic
Take it!
waterfall!
Double
Feel!
Together!
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
I'm out of ammo! I can do this!
No dawn shall break this night!
Far enough! Healing circle! In the sky!
Dragon Form!
That'll bring you down!
Eternal Devastation!
Thanks for the
So you
healing.
clamor
Watch
for my
yourself,
true
okay?
power?
Yeah.
No
You too.
dawn
Do
shall
it.
break this
Lost.
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
We're still standing. Barely.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! Eternal Devastation!
I shall ensure you survive this!
Demon Fang!
Resonate with the earth!
Double Form!
Here's the evil!
Double Demon Fang!
Freeze blade!
Double Demon Fang! Got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Leave the impaling to me.
Yeah! And the pummel is
You'll find no mercy!
Double Demon Fang!
pull myself together!
Resonate with the earth!
Armor won't save you! Dragon Swarm!
In the soil.
Double weak in an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed
Ready
blow.
to the Field!
Here I come!
Everlasting Get on there together!
Double Demon Fang!
Go!
Eagle Ray!
Arctic waterfall!
Double Demon Fang!
Everlasting shock.
Dance in the wind!
Eternal Devastation! Double Demon Fang!
This one's mine! That'll bring you down! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
Demon Lash! Eternal
Freeze
Devastation!
No further!
Crush!
I'll heal you
Dragon
all!
Swarm!
Air thrust!
Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready! All yours, Kisara! Resonate with the earth!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Dance in the wind!
On your knees!
Do it!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Nonsense!
Certainly not.
Eternal Devastation!
Nothing gets by me!
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray! Here goes! By the power of water! Chain between heaven and earth!
Take this!
A wailing Banshee of Lightning!
Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready!
Eternal Devastation!
Bring the wind! Look here!
I must keep striving.
You can ease off yourself.
Pot calls the kettle black.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
No further!
By the power of water!
A spot of feast. Not today! Double demon fang!
Don't mind if I do.
Annihilation! This one's mine!
It looks like you got this one
See what I
covered.
can do!
Far enough!
Resonate with the earth!
A whale is here!
I owe you one. I'm sorry to trouble.
You do the same for me.
Okay, here I go.
Burning strike! Here's evil!
Not today!
Freeze laser!
Take this! No escape!
Meteor storm! I can do
Dragon Swarm! Double demon fang! You're finished!
Arts require
Double demon fang!
healing art!
Try harder!
A wailing dancing of lightning.
Double demon fang! I'll smash you! Flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Burn it out!
Thanks for the heal.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Take it! Help this! Nothing gets by me!
No further! Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation! Hit! Burning!
Eternal
Hold on here. Here I come.
Negative gate! Eternal devastation!
Blood!
Here I
Evil
come!
dirt! Outstanding form! This one's mine! Freeze lancer!
Dragon Swarm!
Reload! In here!
Benediction light!
Lightning!
The flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
More where that came from! Into the shadows!
Take this! Eternal devastation! And we die! You're mine! Eternal devastation!
Save you!
I owe you one! On your knees! Double
Nail struck! Now air pressure!
You require a hand. No further! Dragon Swarm!
Healing circle! Thanks so
Double
much!
demon fang!
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All
Not
I can
today.
do is cause havoc and destruction.
Dragon
Nothing gets by me!
Double demon fang!
Far enough!
Here I come! Eternal Dragon Swarm! A thrilling performance. Here I try harder! Not here! Double demon fang! Eternal devastation! Negative gate! Double demon fang! I'm ready!
Bizarre! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
I never miss!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Burn! Eternal devastation! Come one, come all! I'm not done! Try harder! Dragon Swarm! Take this! Dragon Swarm! I'm ready! Double me! In an instant! Impact block!
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Double this one's all mine! Double demon fang! We did it!
As impressive as
I'm
always.
ready!
And here I hope that
No, I mean you're even better than her.
A fascinating art there.
Care to give it a try?
No. A little unrefined for my taste.
That's how you judge them?
found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Burn in hell!
Here!
Negative gate!
Back into the fray!
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation! Nailed
I see those pass on the
I can
handshake.
carve through armor!
Here goes! Not on my watch! By the dance in the
Double
wind!
Demon Fang!
Air
Take this! Try harder! Now! Dragon Swarm!
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
In here. I can't hold on much longer.
Why'd you do it?
To stop you dying?
Burn in hell!
Free Lancer! Dance in the wind!
Leave the charges to me!
Double Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind!
Crush! Eagle Wave! Dragon Swarm!
Resonate with the earth! Stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Get on in there by the power of water!
No further!
Amazing.
Take this! You picked the wrong fight! I'll grind you into dust! Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang! Eternal Devastation! Blood! Rending you
Don't
apart!
mind if I do. I'm ready.
Bloody howling!
Where are you going? Water astral
Double
energy!
Demon Fang! Eternal Devastation!
Raging energy!
Double Demon Fang!
In here.
Art of being interrupted!
Leave the charge first aid!
No time to break this! Take this!
I've taken too much
Eternal
damage!
Devastation! No further! Dragon Swarm!
Here, let me
You're
help!
mine! Crush!
First aid!
The flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Mega ray! Back into the fray!
Double Demon
There
Fang!
you go! Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Armor won't
Save you! Far enough!
Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang!
Here's evil!
You're mine!
Now,
River!
astral energy.
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done.
Eternal Devastation! Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready!
In an instant! Impact Block! Not a chance!
Rain down and pure
You're mine!
I'm out of ammo! Our dance waterfall!
Double Demon
I'm
Fang!
ready! Dance in the wind!
Not done!
Air thrust!
With this, I can become even stronger.
Come one, come all!
Ready and rare!
Crazy
Burning strike!
Take this!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Won't save you! Where are you going?
Eternal
Eat dirt! I'll be it first!
It got flyers!
I've got this!
Double
Let a
demon!
marksman handle it!
All yours!
Ready to go! Yeah! And totally to me!
Burn in hell! Eternal Devastation! Double Demon!
Denied! More for the sun! Healing circle! Raging
Prisma! All mine!
Here's evil!
Eat them!
Lightning!
Here are this air pressure! Double Demon Fang!
Divine savior! Now!
In an instant! Impact Block!
We work well together, like a finely timed
In the
walk.
wind!
You're on!
In here!
Take this!
Healing circle!
Thanks!
More for the sun!
Double Demon Fang!
One more time!
Eternal Devastation! Shattering the pieces!
Reload!
Armor won't save you!
I'm out of ammo! I'm all
I'm ready! In an instant! Impact Block! Now! Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope you'll listen to.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen it beyond.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nothing gets by me! Radiant
You're on! Here I go!
Spirits within the soil.
Double Demon Fang!
I'll be saving my offer! Do it! Water astral energy!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Take it!
Blood.
Rending you up!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang! Double Demon
This
Fang!
one's mine.
Dragon
Not on
Swarm!
my watch!
It can hide itself? Amazing!
Here! Let astral dance in the wind! Feel! I'll be saving my friends!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Magic is there! Annihilate Crossblade!
Execution!
Demon Fang!
Art of being interrupted.
Double Demon Fang!
Another incantation ruined.
I can't heal you forever!
Here I go! Time to let you pay for that! Double Demon Fang!
Enduring flame! Reload! More for the stockpile!
Double Demon
All
Fang!
disasters made one! Annihilation!
Double Demon Fang!
Between heaven and earth!
For the wicked.
Eternal devastation! Double Demon Fang! Here I come! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Here's a healing art!
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
There you go! Don't let up!
It's on!
Resonate with the earth.
Burn in hell!
Feel!
Eternal devastation! Here I come!
Magna Ray! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Lightning!
Double Demon Fang!
Damn it! Oh, I never get there!
Amazing.
Double Demon
Are you
Fang!
ready? This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
My word. This... This must be the work of Providence.
What now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Now! Dragon
Another
Swarm!
incantation ruined.
Not in your dreams!
It's in your hands now.
You pay for that!
Hit!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll bring you back from that abyss! Purge the
Double
violence!
Demon Fang!
Predict waterfall! Here, carrots!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Rending you up.
Here I
Bring
come!
you back from death's abyss!
Eternal devastation! Double
Ready and ready.
I'll heal you
I
all!
can carve through armor.
Damn it!
Gonna smart
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Demon Fang! Try harder! Now I can let loose!
Tough field!
Double!
I can handle it!
Try harder! Not a chance!
No further.
Double Demon Fang!
Far enough!
It's on!
Everlasting star.
Eagle
You picked the wrong fight!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Blackened blade! Dragon form!
Execution!
Take this! Double demon fang!
Awaken and wreak havoc! Burning strike! Anything in Orma! Freeze Lancer! Sleep now!
Take this! Double demon fang!
Stockpile! Raging Cascade!
Dragon form!
Go! Sleep now!
Double demon fang! I'm not done!
I'm out of ammo! I'm
Eternal devastation!
In the soil.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
You picked the wrong fight!
Will this help?
Eternal devastation!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this!
Deus roar! The flames will roar!
Double demon fang!
Here! More for the sky!
Double demon fang!
Leave your charges to me! I can do this all
Dragon
day!
form!
Ripping you apart! My astral energy!
Double demon fang! Try harder! Not here!
I'm out of ammo!
Dragon form! Take this!
Thanks for the healing.
Dragon
Watch
form!
yourself, okay? Yeah, you too.
Struck!
Demon blast! Purity!
You're mine!
Glacial spear!
Burn in hell!
Resonate with
Double
the earth!
demon
I
fang!
never fit!
Dragon form!
Rending you apart!
Crush!
Gemini wind astral energy!
It looks like you got this one covered.
Take this! Try harder!
Magic is in!
Dragon
Free soil!
Dragon form! You're mine!
Annihilation!
Double demon fang! Dragon
This
form!
isn't ideal.
I'm not done!
Arcane waterfall!
Sleep now.
Double demon fang!
Kizara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
How much longer will our healing arts last?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Ignite!
Our arts are being interrupted.
Dragon form!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Get on in there with the others!
Explosive ray!
The airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Armor won't save you! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Everlasting
Negative
Be careful not to overdo it.
Go for it! Prepare to crumble! There!
Nonsense!
Back into the fray! Mega ray! Annihilation! Radiant here!
Dragon form!
Dance in the wind!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Dragon form!
Gemini
Try harder! My turn!
Mega ray!
You picked the wrong fight!
A wailing water! Lightning!
Here I come! Everlasting dark!
Sleep now.
Double demon fang! Double demon fang! Take this! No escape! Double demon fang! Negative game!
Another incantation ruined.
Double
In a
demon
vine.
fang! Try harder!
Here's a healing art! Dance in the wind!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time.
I really don't.
Now! Law, get toasty!
Bird strike! Now! Take this! Try harder! My turn!
Spirits with
You
your
picked the wrong fight!
Awaken and wreak havoc.
Eternal devastation!
Wind astral energy! Dance in the
Dragon
wind!
form!
I can carve through armor.
Air
Double demon fang!
Time
Time to let it rip!
Wailing dance Double
Demon Fang! Eternal Devastation!
Feel!
Double Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! One more time!
Double Demon Fang!
Pierce evil!
Eternal Devastation! It's all! Try harder!
Victory is within reach.
Dig deep, and we can do this!
Festive fervor, little one.
Glacial spear!
No further!
Arch shield! Dance in the wind! I never miss! Not in your dreams!
Ready and rarely!
No
There you
dawn
go!
break.
Don't let up!
I must remember my limits.
Armor won't save you!
It's in your hands now.
Stay away from my friends!
I'll bring you back from just a bit!
Try harder! My turn! Double team! This one's all mine!
Here.
Not today! I owe you one! Dragon Swarm!
I'll thank you.
Double Demon Fang!
Correction!
My turn! I'm ready!
Glacial spear! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action.
I've been doing really great lately.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
This won't be easy.
You'll
be no more playing nice!
Try harder! Now! Your mother! Try harder! My turn!
Here's the dance! Healing circle!
Take it! Double Demon Fang!
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine to do.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Gemini Aqua! Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Finally timed walk.
Easter!
Rain down and pure
Come and face me.
Searing flame! Reload!
No dawn
Here's
shall
a healing
break.
Double Demon Fang!
It's in your hands now.
Stay away from my friend!
Now! Bizarra! Go for it! Prepare to crumble! I'll bring you
Not
back
yet.
to this! This one's mine! Dance in the wind!
Don't mind if I do.
I can carve through armor!
I'll bring you back
Eternal
and bring
Devastation!
down and purify all! Resuscitation!
You're
I will
mine!
heal you all!
My down.
Double Demon Fang!
Radiant light! Here!
And more of this and I'll burn out! Not today!
Fire field!
A space between heaven and earth.
Here I come! Double Demon Fang!
Dancy of lightning! Gemini!
Dragon Swarm!
Divine Save! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll heal you all!
Fades
Light
in
and
blood.
power! Arctic waterfall! Raise them up here!
Might with dragon blade.
Double Demon Fang!
Anything in armor is all mine! One more!
Another incantation ruined.
Eternal Devastation!
It looks like you got this one covered.
Ignite! No further! Crush!
Lunar
Dragon Swarm!
Dance in the wind! Easter! In here! Where are you going?
Eternal Devastation!
Demon Lash.
Gemini Aqua! Annihilation!
I'm not done!
Banana
Dragon
Blade!
Swarm! I've been hit with something!
Don't mind if I
So
do.
even a masochist has his limits.
Not feeling so great.
Rage.
In here.
Eagle Ray!
Freeze Lancer.
I'm ready!
Art?
Look, that's my
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing. What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedures somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Glacial Spear!
In a bind? Armor won't save you!
Take this!
Begin!
Double demon fang! You're mine! Double demon fang!
Its head is sweet point. We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Dragon form!
Who's in the sky?
You're mine!
Benediction.
You're mine! It's
That'll
time!
bring you down.
Burn! You're mine! Double demon fang!
Take this!
Take it!
Anything more is all mine.
Fluid kick!
No further.
Blah, blah, blah.
Armor won't save you.
There you go!
Demon
Don't
fang!
let up! Get on in there!
You're mine! Double demon fang!
Bananas!
Fluid kick!
On your
You're
knees.
mine!
Go team! Raise that thing!
Rending you apart.
Ready to go!
Bloody
Not a chance! Lunar Rondo! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! You're mine!
In here!
Mirage! Dragon
More than
form!
the stockpile!
Eternal Death! Dragon form!
Eagle ray.
Burn up!
Now or never.
Dragon
In a
form!
bind.
Double demon fang!
Anything in order is all mine.
Catapult! Take this!
By the power of water!
You're finished!
Sleep now!
Lunar Rondo! It's
That'll
time!
bring you down.
All
Lunar
disasters
Rondo!
made one! Come forth and hear us of
Incantation
fury!
do it.
Falling stars of
Burn in
light!
hell!
Rain down
I
air!
am not beyond fury. Begin.
Cut!
Resonate with the earth.
Dragon form!
Spirits within the soil.
Double demon fang!
And wreak havoc.
One more! Radiant light!
Double demon fang!
Stars of light! Rain down and purify!
Outstanding form!
Bloody howling.
Radiant pierce!
Here I come!
Meteor sword!
Gathering the teeth in. Attack demon blast.
Searing gale!
Eagle ready to go! Lightning condemned! Radiant take care of
You're bruised all over. Did you even notice?
Make it in
Guess I
time.
got carried away.
I'm not always going to be around to heal you, you know.
I'm ready.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life. Resuscitation.
No escape!
Will this help?
Eternal devastation! This one's all mine!
No
Double
dawn
demon
shall
fang!
break this night. Thanks. Take this.
I owe you, Tion.
Healing is
Not
what my
today.
arts do best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Our surge is masterful.
Take this!
On your
Where are you going?
Eternal devastation! Take this!
Looks like you got this one covered.
Demon Fang!
Healing circle!
Blue escape!
Sorry to trouble you.
Blue escape!
Gravitas field!
Ready and ready!
Stand between heaven and earth.
Lunarongo!
Send my aqua!
I can carve
Awailing
through armor!
Dundee of lightning! To the fray!
They smite! Here I come! Lunarongo!
Hold on to your
Aren't you human?
They're not playing around!
Ah, right.
Lunarongo! Lunarongo!
Lightning to
Lunarongo!
Thunderblade! I can handle it! Burning strike!
Demon denied! Take this! Eagle Ray!
Lightning!
Lunarongo!
Dance in the wind! In here!
Lunarongo!
Here!
No further!
The fluidity of your moves is simply incredible.
All disasters made one! Come forth!
Lunarongo!
Purity!
I'm not done! Everlasting Dark!
Burning strike! Take that! Pierce evil!
You're mine! I'll smash you!
Rough and ready!
Lunarongo! Negative gate!
Maelstrom! Take it!
Stalagmite!
Into the shadows!
Spirits within the
Take
soil.
this! Await a thrilling performance! This one's all mine! It's gonna attack!
Right! Watch out!
Lunarongo!
Maelstrom!
Everlasting Dark!
Here!
Here I come! Capacity Speed! Lunarongo!
Burning
No! Can't get... Pushing yourself and get behind us!
I'll be right as rain in no time.
Blue escape! It's over!
A chain between heaven and
Lunarongo!
earth.
Shattering
A wailing dancing of lightning.
This one's all mine! Ignite!
Divine savior. Dance in the wind. Aqua.
We've got him on the run!
Don't get cocky.
Right. Still anyone's fight. Can't get out of this!
Lightning orb. They're on my watch.
I'll smash you! Far enough!
I never miss.
I'm not done!
Air thrust. Megalon.
Eternal devastation!
Lightning.
Elusive
Still
healing!
wall. Take that.
Lunarongo!
Raging devastation.
Lunarongo!
Resonate with the earth.
Piss on! Soil. Awaken and reach! You picked the wrong fight!
Will this help? One more time. Healing you get stiff. Freeze dancer. Dance in the wind.
The everlasting dark! Now we're
Double
water! Double demon fang! I'm not ready and ready! Everlasting dark! Eternal devastation!
Negative
Negative
gate.
Double demon fang! Still!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalum's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all,
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting. But I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter... our orientation, then.
Did we really just...
Hell yeah! There's no...
We've reached our destination. I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of...